get better and push the limits just a little more.
And you've talked about how DQ really takes care of his vets. Was there ever a moment for you where you keep pushing, and it was weird for you to get, hey, you're not practicing today, or we need you to slow it down?
Yeah, I mean, some guys had off days yesterday. I was kind of supposed to be in that group, but he's receptive to my feelings as well. I've always been a guy that kind of just wants to overwork himself, so I need people like DQ to kind of keep me from myself, or so I don't go too far. And oftentimes I've gone too far where it ends in injury or whatnot. So DQ, the thing that's amazing about DQ, and it's not just in this situation, he over-communicates, which a lot of coaches, when players are just left to their own thoughts, it's a dangerous spot. You don't know kind of the motivation, the quote-unquote agenda, whatever it is. But DQ is very forthcoming in why he's doing something, why he's like, you're not going to practice. Last year in training camp, I did practice every day. During the season, I didn't practice on Wednesdays, but I'm not going to practice every day in training camp this year. We had a long season last year. We want to have another long season this year. So oftentimes I need people to kind of keep me from myself, and DQ has just been amazing at that.
Zach, usually with successful teams, coaches get rated, coordinators go to other teams. How rare is it to have pretty much the whole staff back from last year, that continuity, and approaching training camp this year, you already kind of know each other. You're trying to make the next step.
I mean, I think it is very rare to have the success that we had last year, and coaches, that the entire coaching staff stays the same. Obviously, we had one or two changes here and there. But overall, I think it is rare. But at the end of the day, we are very fortunate as players to be in the same system a second year. Jaden's very fortunate to be in this system a second year. Because it is hard just to start from scratch. Even if it's the same system, it's a different caller, so you got to get used to a new play caller, even if they're calling the same plays. Sometimes the fundamentals change a little bit, the details change a little bit. So we're just glad everyone's back, and not to talk about last year at all, but we are very fortunate to be able to compete against each other right now with the same coordinators, same position coaches for the most part. So yeah, we're excited about the entire continuity of the group, and we just got to continue to get better.
Zach, you've obviously won a Super Bowl. You've also been on teams that maybe the expectations weren't so high. Does this camp feel any different than maybe last year with there is high expectations for this team to go far?
Yeah, I think the expectations of this team do not impact what goes on in the building. Last year, not many people chose us to be successful, and this year maybe too many people are choosing us to be successful. And so for me, I think the message is how can we get better? I talk about it all the time with last year. If we started fast or started slow, it's about the continuum improvement throughout the year. And we all have to be better. If we're the same team we were last year, we've let ourselves down enormously. And so for me, for the guys, it's just about how can we improve each and every day? How can we improve the timing, the communication, the blocking? Because we weren't at the end of the day, this year is a completely new team. I don't want to talk about last year really anymore. And so for me, it's just all about how can we get better? How can this team improve? Because we got a lot of new players. I've been on really talented teams. I think this is a talented team. But at the end of the day, talent really doesn't win you games in this league. And so for us, it's about how can we become better as a unit, offensively, defensive, special teams, and better as a team.
You talked about a lot of things that have stayed the same, and you talked about some things that have changed. Being able to add players like Debo and Michael Gallup to the skill room, how do you think that helps the skill room but also helps Jaden in year two?
I think if you look at our skill group, it's a very diverse skill set between players. I don't think there's just a bunch of guys that have similar traits, similar skills. So I think when you're able to have a bunch of varied talent levels, varied skill sets, it really allows the coordinators to kind of open up the playbook. A guy like Debo, you can really do whatever you want with him as a chess piece. So I think he's going to be a huge piece of our offense. Really excited to see him going, especially when you get the pads on, because I know you can feel his physicality without pads on, but I know he's going to take it to another level when we get the ball in his hands in the games or preseason games or practice. And Michael Gallup has been impressive, man. For a guy that missed last year to be able to come in, show his athleticism, really humble guy, really love coming to work with him. And really the whole group, really humble, just want to work. Noah Brown, phenomenal player. So, yeah, we're excited about that room.
Is that kind of on the same lines of continuity? When you go from year one to year two in an offense, maybe under a Cliff Kingsbury offense specifically, are you able to kind of expand plays and concepts, or is it more about fine-tuning what you do well?
Yeah, it's a little bit of both, honestly. Obviously, going into last year, everyone was learning the system, so it was very vanilla. Now you really want to take the next step in terms of improving the details. We're not starting on first base per se. We're starting maybe on second base in terms of the details and guys knowing the plays. So really it's just fine-tuning things, but also you can't be the same. We can't just roll out with the playbook week one and expect things to happen. There's got to be new plays. There's got to be a little evolution in the playbook. So I would say it's a combination of both.
Hey, Zach, with Cliff, he's in the off seasons. He's who knows where he is necessarily in the world, but I'm sure he's always thinking about the playbook. Does he ever like just kind of reach out to you, randomly text you something like, "Hey, I was thinking about this. What do you think about that?" Do you do that to him?
Yeah, I mean, I think it goes both ways. Cliff is very respectful of people's time in the building and out of the building. So we talk a lot about soccer, honestly, outside the building. But I'm texting him ideas. He's texting me thoughts. But a lot of our conversations, and the thing that's special about Cliff is he truly cares about the person. So a lot of our conversation is, how's the family doing? I text him, where are you at right now in the world? Just things like that. But ultimately, I don't think people realize how much of a grinder Cliff is. He kind of gives this persona of the cool guy who wears the hat. He's always in the all black. But in reality, the guy's here at 3 a.m. every day. He's always the first one in the building. And he's always just grinding film. And so for me, I think he gets this persona of kind of this laissez-faire attitude, when in reality, it couldn't be further from the truth.
That cool guy, you never know where he is. You're a family guy. Obviously, you've got kids and all that. Is it part of what this is all about? Like, you have guys who are in different stages of life, different how they're going about, and then when they come here to kind of find a way to work all together?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the best part about football. A lot of these guys I would never have had the opportunity to meet, and really throughout my career. You're not going to remember individuals' games, but you're going to remember the teammates that you have each and every day, each and every year, the bonds that you have, the stories that you have. And so we got an amazing group of guys that really love the process, that love coming to work every day. And so for me, it's been so fun just to really get to know the guys. And that's why I'm here in the offseason. It's not like I'm a guy that just wants to show up in training camp at this stage in my career. Part of the best part about this business, and honestly probably the best part, is meeting your new teammates and working together and grinding through adversity. And training together and knowing that he's not going to let me down. I'm doing everything I can and not let him down. And so for me, it's really about just enjoying the time together with the guys, getting better, and doing everything we can to be the best version of ourselves this year.
Hey, Zach, I came in here a little late. You talked about meeting your new teammates. What have you seen in the early stages on the offensive side of the ball from this unit?
Yeah, I think we got a group that really loves being together, guys that are trying to do everything they can to get better, and a bunch of guys that have a really diverse skill set in the skill room, a bunch of guys that are at different phases of their career, different talents in terms of how coaches can use each of us. So right now, training camp is all about earning trust. Nothing is given in this league, and you can't come in here, I'm talking about myself, that coaches are just going to draw things up for me on third down in the red zone, and I'm going to pencil me in for X amount of targets and catches. Everything is earned each and every day in this league, and that's the best part about this league, is you can't just come in here expecting anything. You got to come in every day and grind and earn your reps, earn your plays that you're going to be on the field. And if you don't, you're just not going to play in this league. And so for me, that's what training camp is for, is earning the trust of my coaches and my teammates to go out there and execute when they need me to, and get better with Jaden.
Dope. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Ron? Can you talk about the new addition?